Look at this city. A massive forest of steel, glass, and concrete piercing the heavens. But New York wasn't born this way. It was born from dirt, greed, and an impossible obsession to conquer the sky. Before the Billionaires Row, before the Empire State, this was New Amsterdam. A muddy, violent trading post where survival meant more than skyline views. But in 1811, a group of men made a decision that would change the world forever. They laid down the grid, a ruthless mathematical master plan that destroyed nature, to breed capitalism. The grid forced architects to build in tight, suffocating rectangles. As millions of immigrants flooded the island, the city began to choke. There was nowhere left to go but up. Brick and stone could only hold so much weight before collapsing. To build castles in the sky, New York needed a miracle, and it found one. In the fires of the Industrial Revolution, Bessemer steel. In 1902, the Flatiron Building sliced through the New York sky like a massive ship. People were terrified. They stood on the streets below, waiting for the wind to blow this 22-story monster down. It didn't fall. Instead, it triggered a psychological warfare among the city's elite. A billion-dollar ego trip that would soon lead to the most dangerous architectural race in human history. The 1920s. The Roaring Twenties. Money was practically falling from the sky. And with infinite wealth came infinite ego. Millionaires didn't just want mansions anymore. They wanted to become gods of the skyline. But these massive blocks of steel were swallowing the streets in permanent darkness. To save the city from eternal night, New York passed the 1916 zoning law. Buildings now had to step back as they grew taller. This rule accidentally birthed the iconic wedding cake architecture. The stage was set for the most ruthless architectural war in history. The prize? The title of the tallest building in the world. On one side, auto mogul Walter Chrysler. On the other, his former architect, now bitter rival, Craig Severance. Chrysler wanted a monument to his machines. He ordered his architect, William Van Allen, to design a masterpiece of Art Deco, featuring giant steel eagle gargoyles mimicking his car hood ornaments. Severance thought he had won by making his Bank of Manhattan building just a few feet taller. But he didn't know Chrysler had a secret weapon. A 125-foot steel spire, secretly assembled in the dark, hidden entirely inside the building's fire shaft. On October 23, 1929, in just 90 minutes, the spire was pushed through the roof. Like a sword piercing the sky, the Chrysler building claimed the ultimate crown. Severance was humiliated. But Chrysler's victory lasted less than a year. John J. Raskob, the creator of General Motors, looked at Chrysler's tower and asked his architect, "How high can you make it so it won't fall down?" Enter the Empire State Building. It was built at an impossible speed, 4.5 stories a week. Mohawk ironworkers danced on steel beams 1,000 feet in the air without harnesses. 5 men died to build this titan. It was a cathedral built on blood and steel. In 1931, it opened as the undisputed king of the world. But there was one massive problem. The Great Depression had destroyed the economy. The greatest building on Earth was completely empty. They called it the Empty State Building. And soon, a new revolution would wipe out this Art Deco beauty forever. After World War II, the world changed. The intricate stone carvings, the golden gargoyles, and the romantic curves of the past felt old. A new generation of architects looked at the Empire State and saw a dinosaur. They wanted something cold, sharp, and honest. In 1952, the Lever House landed on Park Avenue like a crystal from another planet. It was the first time New York saw a wall made entirely of glass. No stone, no brick, just a transparent skin reflecting the clouds. Then came the man who would redefine the human skyline, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. His philosophy was a punch in the face to tradition. Less is more. He didn't just build an office. He built a temple of bronze and glass. The Seagram building wasn't just a box. It was wrapped in 1,500 tons of bronze. It was the most expensive skyscraper ever built at the time. To Mies, perfection was worth every penny. But Mies did something radical. He pushed the building back 100 feet from the street. He gave the most expensive land on Earth back to the people, creating the first modern urban plaza. Architecture was no longer just for the owners, it was for the city. But this obsession with modern had a dark side. In 1963, New York committed a crime against its own history. The original Pennsylvania Station, a masterpiece of Roman-style stone, was dynamic, beautiful, and demolished. New York traded its soul for efficiency. People walked through the ruins of beauty to get to work. The outrage was so great, it birthed the Landmarks Preservation Movement. But for many buildings, it was already too late. As the 60s came to an end, the glass boxes were about to get bigger, much bigger. Two silver giants were rising in the South, designed to be the ultimate statement of American power. But these towers would change the skyline in a way no one could have ever prepared for. The World Trade Center didn't start as a beloved icon. When the Twin Towers opened in 1973, many critics absolutely hated them. They called them arrogant filing cabinets, two brutal blocks of aluminum dominating the delicate skyline. But beneath the criticism lay a revolutionary engineering marvel. Instead of a grid of massive columns taking up the interior, the towers were hollow. The exterior walls themselves carried the weight, allowing for massive open floors above the clouds. Slowly, the city fell in love. For 3 decades, those two silver pillars anchored the island. They weren't just buildings anymore. They were the compass by which New Yorkers navigated their lives. A symbol of unbreakable confidence. Then, in a single morning, the skyline was torn apart. The towers fell, taking nearly 3,000 souls with them. New York didn't just lose its tallest buildings. It lost a piece of its heart. The skyline was left with an agonizing, empty void. Ground Zero became a sacred scar. For years, the city debated, how do you build on top of hallowed ground? The answer had to be more than just steel and glass. It had to be a statement of pure, defiant resilience. The answer was exactly 1,776 feet tall. One World Trade Center rose from the ashes. But this was no ordinary office building. It is a fortress disguised as a jewel. Its base is a 200-foot windowless concrete bunker designed to withstand explosions. The glass is blast-resistant. The core is the strongest concrete ever poured in the city. But look closely at its shape. As the building rises, its corners slice inward, forming 8 massive interlocking triangles. Structurally, those triangles are a tribute to the original towers. New York had healed its heart. But just a few miles north, near Central Park, a new kind of madness was quietly taking over the clouds. The era of the super slenders was about to begin. In the 2010s, a new phenomenon reshaped the sky. Land in Manhattan became more expensive than gold. Architects were forced to perform a miracle, building skyscrapers on footprints no larger than a backyard. Welcome to Billionaires Row. 432 Park Avenue was the first shock. A perfect, thin, white square rising nearly 1,400 feet. It is the ultimate evolution of the New York grid, a mathematical masterpiece that looks more like a sculpture than a home. But then came Steinway Tower. At a width-to-height ratio of 124, it is the slenderest building in the world. It's so thin it shouldn't be able to stand. At the top, it can sway several feet in the wind. To prevent the residents from getting seasick, engineers hidden a massive secret at the top, a tuned mass damper. an 800-ton steel ball that countersways against the wind, holding the giant steady. While some built needles, others built an entire city. Hudson Yards, the largest private real estate development in U.S. history. It's a $25 billion bet on the future of New York, built entirely over an active train yard. Here, architecture isn't just about shelter, it's about experience. At the edge, you can stand on a glass floor suspended 1,100 feet in the air, feeling the heartbeat of the city beneath your feet. But the future of New York architecture isn't just about height. It's about life. Buildings like the Spiral are now weaving vertical gardens into the concrete jungle, turning the skyline into a living, breathing ecosystem. From the muddy streets of New Amsterdam to the glass needles of today, New York's architecture is a testament to the human spirit. We are a species that refuses to stay on the ground. And as long as there is a New York, we will never stop climbing.